Hi everyone, welcome to the cocktail vlog. I'm Steve the bartender, and today I'm showing you how to make 8 dead easy cocktails utilizing the most popular ingredients that people have at home. So less than a week ago, I put a call out for you guys to respond to a questionnaire to let me know what were the 7 most popular ingredients in your fridge and pantry that you would utilize to make drinks. Thank you for the 160 plus people that responded to that, and most of the people did it seriously, most people. And out of that, these are the 10 most common ingredients for making a drink. So I've got a vodka, gin, whiskey, rum, Cointreau, so an orange liqueur, and then I've got egg, mint, and honey. So I didn't count simple syrup. I've added on that onto the list, so that's technically like an 11th. But if you feel like a lot of these drinks are quite citrusy, oh sorry, I do have bitters as well. The reason they are citrusy is because I'm very, very limited on ingredients that I can utilize. There were so many drinks that I wanted to make, but I was just missing the one ingredient. So stay tuned. If you enjoy the video, please make sure you like and subscribe and share this video with a friend. So on to the first cocktail, the vodka honey Collins. So measure out 60 ml of vodka, 2 ounces, and then follow that with fresh lemon juice. So 30 ml, 1 ounce. And you can build this one straight into the glass if you like. I prefer to shake it to combine the ingredients, especially when you're using a honey syrup. So 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. That's 1:1, 1 part honey, 1 part water. Now add ice and give it a shake. Fill your highball glass with ice. Add a splash of soda. And strain it over the top. This one you can garnish with a lemon. I'm garnishing with rosemary, which is not on my list purely because in Australia, every second household has rosemary. So hopefully that's the same for you guys. Otherwise, just a lemon will. So there you have a honey vodka Collins. Cheers. Light, refreshing, undertones of honey. Very, very easy to drink. Very tasty. Now onto the honey mint sour. So this calls for 45 ml vodka. Very similar ingredients, very similar measurements as well as the last cocktail I did. 30 ml, 1 ounce of fresh lemon juice. A little bit short. And 22.5 ml of honey syrup. 3/4 ounce. Add a few mint leaves. It is a little bit of an interesting combination having the mint with honey, but I'm giving it a shot. Add egg white to the glass. And then dry shake first. Emulsify that egg white before adding ice and giving it a wet shake. And strain that straight in. And finish this one off with 3 or 4 drops of Angostura bitters. And use a cocktail pick to swirl the bitters around to make it look pretty. There you have a honey mint sour. Cheers. I have done honey sour on the channel before utilizing tequila. This is very light, bright, citrusy, and a beautiful texture to it. On to cocktail number 3, the honeybee. This is a close relation to the bee's knees. Bee's knees being with gin, and then if you make it with white rum, it's a honeysuckle. Today I'm using a Jamaican rum. So this calls for 60 ml, 2 ounces of a dark Jamaican rum. And then 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce of honey, and 15 ml of fresh lime juice, 1/2 ounce. And I'm going to put the honey aside after this cocktail. The rest don't include honey. Add ice to your cocktail shaker and give it a good shake. Into a chilled coupe. Nice easy 3-ingredient cocktail. Should be really rich from that Jamaican rum. And garnish with a twist of lemon and drop it straight in. There you have the honeybee. The Jamaican rum, it's really intense, so it kind of overrides the honey, and the honey is just a small accent. It's not overpowering. Very simple, very tasty. Next we have the Outrigger. This is essentially a tiki-fied sidecar, and it calls for 60 mils, 2 ounces of aged rum. So I know I've used two different kinds of rum, but if you don't have an aged rum or if you don't have a Jamaican rum, then you can chop and change and it'll still work out quite nicely. And I'm using a dry curacao. If you want, you can use a triple sec, you can use Cointreau, Grand Marnier. Calls for 30 mil, 1 ounce, and then 15 mil, half an ounce of fresh lemon juice. So this was first created by Jeff Berry. Add ice to your shaker and give it a good shake. Into a chilled coupe. So very similar to the last cocktail, still a rum cocktail, but it's going to be more orange flavors and less punch from that rum. There you have an Outrigger. Cheers. Being a bit lazy there. Garnish with an orange twist. Cheers. So this is an excellent variation on a classic sidecar, which normally calls for cognac. I much prefer the rum. So now onto the gin cocktails. This one's the PEGU Club, which is named after the 1920s gentleman's club of the same name. This calls for 60 ml, 2 ounces of your preferred gin. Add that straight into your shaker, and then follow that with your orange curacao. It does specifically call for an orange curacao, but you can use triple sec or Cointreau as I mentioned before. 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. And the citrus that is called for is fresh lime juice. I'm using lemon because I'm a little bit restricted today, but all the original recipes will be kept in the description below. Then 1 dash of orange bitters. And 1 dash of Angostura bitters. I am being a little bit cheeky because I could put bitters on the list. I'm technically using 2. Ice into the shaker. And strain it into your chilled stemmed cocktail glass. And there you have the PEGU Club. Cheers. It's very citrusy. It's got a lot of those bitter notes from the 2 variations of bitters. A lot of citrus coming through, specifically orange. It's quite a dry cocktail actually. Next we have a twist on the classic, the Bennett. This is a twist on a classic gimlet with the addition of Angostura bitters. So it calls for 60 ml, 2 ounces of your preferred gin. Straight into chocolate. And the original recipe does call for fresh lime juice. I'm using fresh lemon. 30 ml, single ounce. Simple syrup, 1 to 1, 22.5 ml, 3/4 ounce. And 1 to 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Add ice and give it a shake. Into a chilled stemmed cocktail glass. Gimlets are a favourite of mine, so I'm sure this is going to go down very well. Cheers. I'm in love. That's amazing. And this is going to go down extremely quickly as soon as I pass this off to my wife behind the camera. Now onto the TJ Smash, which is a variation of the Whiskey Smash. This calls for about 10 to 12 mint leaves, tear them up and throw them straight into the cocktail shaker and measure out 60 ml, 2 ounces of bourbon whiskey. Same goes with the other cocktails. If you don't have a bourbon whiskey, if you've got a rye, an Irish whiskey, Japanese whiskey, Scotch whiskey, you can change it over no problems. We've got fresh lemon juice, 30 ml, single ounce, followed by 15 ml, half an ounce of simple syrup. And where it differs from a classic whiskey smash, it calls for 8 to 12 dashes of Angostura bitters. And give it a shake. Now double strain over fresh ice. And garnish with a sprig of mint. There you have a TJ Smash. Cheers. It's a very bitter twist on a classic whiskey smash. You get the refreshing notes of mint on the nose and on the palate. It's a unique twist. And lastly, a ginger highball. I'm straight up cheating on this one because this was ingredient number 11, being ginger ale / ginger beer. I was really keen to have a ginger cocktail. So 45, maybe 60 ml, bourbon whiskey, Scotch whiskey, whatever you have. And today I'm going to have a small dash of bitters. And ginger beer. Going to finish that with a Surfside Sips. If you go to surfsidesips.com and use the coupon code STB20, you can get 20% off any of the glass straws by Andrew. And garnish with a lemon wheel and a mint sprig. There you have a ginger highball. Cheers. Just the right amount of spice from that ginger beer. Nice and refreshing, easy to drink. Perfect for summer. Thanks for watching, guys. This proved to be a bit of an interesting challenge because it kind of locked me into making completely citrus cocktails, but nonetheless, I did enjoy it. I will repeat this again. I might tweak it and do it a little bit differently so that I can have a broad array of mixes and syrups and everything like that. But I'll definitely get your input so I can go from there. Let me know what you thought of this video, if you enjoyed it or not. Just comment below. If I was to recommend a cocktail, what's my least favorite? Actually, I'll start with that first. My least favorite would have to be the PEGU Club. So. My favorites, if it was summer and I wanted something easy to drink, I'd go the ginger highball. I can't go past a gimlet, or in this case, a Bennett. So a gimlet with bitters. Oh, but a sour is also, I can't decide. Honey sour, that's absolutely delicious. I picked these two. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. I know I'm gonna have a great night. I hope you guys do. I hope you guys do too, and I'll see you soon. Cheers. Next we have the Outrigger, which is a rum-based cocktail. Cool. Getting a lot of that dry curacao. I don't really like this.
I don't really like this.
That's shit.